Now, the Subway Final Word.
Good evening, I'm Albie Oxenreiter. Welcome to the Subway Final Word, the show that invites you into the conversation. You can get your opinion on TV right here every Sunday night, and tonight is no different. Where do you see this panel we have lined up for you tonight? Talk about some greats. The afternoon host at 105.9 The X, man on your left, Mark Madden.
Woo!
And in the middle, former performer on cruises across the world and also the author of Just Watch the Games 1 and 2, John Steigerwald.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. He'd rather be on a cruise right now somewhere warm.
I'm leaving tonight after the show.
All right. Rob Rossi, Trib Total Media columnist on the right side of the big screen. Hi, Rob. That's all we need. We're ready to get started. And some of the topics we'll be talking about tonight. Bettis and Green. Will they get the votes for the Hall of Fame? Is it time for pro sports all-star games to go away? Do the Penguins have what it takes? And give us a Super Bowl pick. Please give us a Super Bowl pick. First topic tonight, do you believe the Patriots? And if not, how should the NFL punish the Patriots? Mark Madden, start us off, please.
Are you asking me how they should punish them or how they will punish them? Because the answers, I assure you, are considerably different. Belichick and Brady should each be suspended for 4 games at minimum at the start of next season. They should lose a first-round draft pick, and they should be fined 7 figures. But they're going to get a slap on the wrist. Maybe they lose that first-round draft pick. They get a considerable fine, but nothing to affect what goes on the field. Now, a lot of people are crying, well, if it wasn't the Patriots, we would have stopped talking about this a long time ago. You're darn tootin' we would, but we're talking about it because it's the second time they've been caught cheating. It's like they were on parole, they violated, and now they go back in the PR slammer. Everything bad said about them, they deserve to hear.
Stag.
Well, I think Patriots fans believe him. That's a small pocket up there in New England of people believe him. But, you just look around on the internet, look on television, wherever you look. Anytime that anybody's ever been in the NFL has been asked about it, they roll their eyes and they say, oh, I'm not believing that Tom Brady didn't know it went on. Now, you have varying opinions on how much it mattered and whether it should matter. Guys like Joe Theismann saying it didn't matter. But you have guys like Brunell looking like he wants to burst into tears talking about it and just completely dismissing the idea that Tom Brady wouldn't know what was going on with the football. So if you ask anybody who's been around a football team, they won't even consider it for a second as being true or that they're telling the truth. Now, I think that they, at least in Belichick's case, he seems to have come out and done a pretty good Bill Clinton impersonation where he says things, but he uses the kind of language that he can fall back on later and say, hey, I just said I didn't have any knowledge of it. That's all I said. I didn't say that we never did it before. I just think they're both lying.
Rob, what do you
especially
think?
Brady.
I'll tell you what I believe. I believe Bill Belichick correctly has assessed that Roger Goodell is the most disliked man in his sport and is flat out challenging him with this behavior to come at him with a hard suspension and figures that it won't happen because Goodell has been pretty meek going forward or going through the last year. So if I were Roger Goodell, I would hang on to the words that I used in Bountygate, ignorance is not an excuse, and I would suspend Bill Belichick for all of next season. And I would say it's because of repeated behavior and the presumption of repeated behavior to cheat the integrity of the game. Now, I don't think deflating balls is the reason that the New England Patriots are in the Super Bowl. But the fact that they are even considered to have done it, and there are multiple teams that have told the NFL they've done it, is enough for me, if I'm Roger Goodell, to say to Bill Belichick, you're not coaching the New England Patriots next year, and I don't care what Robert Kraft, my good buddy, has to say about it.
A reminder to keep the comments coming. You can find us on Twitter at WPXI Final Word and on Facebook at The Final Word. Do you believe the Patriots? And if not, what should the punishment be? Belichick may not have known, but Brady knew exactly what he was doing and is lying through his teeth. Suspend Brady this week is what Howie legend Bell says. Mark, we all know that'll never happen, but do they need to come down hard? Is there any possible way they'll come down hard?
Howie, if you think Tom Brady is going to be suspended for the Super Bowl, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Although, I agree with what Rossi had to say. I think they should come down hard on Belichick, but I hold Brady equally accountable, maybe more so. It's like the father of communism, modern-day communism said, V.I. Lenin, who stands to gain? deflating the balls for a better grip and better catchability, that's something a quarterback would micromanage and not a coach. I'm sure Belichick knew, but I'm sure it was Brady's idea.
I have one quick question for the panel. Has anybody seen the name of the Patriots equipment manager or ball boy anywhere in any publication?
But John, I mean, I think where I get you're going, but the reality here is I just spent 10 years around a baseball team and a hockey team.
All right.
The equipment managers do what they're told to do.
Yeah, but so why hasn't somebody asked them? What were you told to do?
Because they're not allowed to talk. Nobody in New England's allowed to talk. So
A court could make them talk, and Goodell, within the context of that league, could make them talk.
Look at this next tweet and respond to this. Who cares about deflated footballs? Totally media-driven story. Stag, heard a lot of that this week. That we're the ones creating this story.
No, it's not nothing. Anybody who's ever, if you can't throw a football 20 yards, throw a 20-yard spiral, then you might think that. But if you've ever picked up a football in your life and tried to throw it, if you don't think that a deflated ball helps you on a wet, slippery day, then you don't know what you're talking about.
All right, we're going to have to wrap this up, but we'll get back into it a little bit later. We're going to get our panelists' Super Bowl picks. And is this a year for Jerome Bettis and or Kevin Green? From Twitter, Bettis, yes, Green, no. Thanks for the tweet. Back with more of the Subway Final Word right after this.